Firdosh Sheikh. I'm co-founder and CEO of Drive. Today I'll be moderating this session which is called Founder's Perspective. So today we'll not be talking about the product but about the people who are behind the product. Because we all have a very unique journey that we have lived building your product and bringing it to this stage. So we'll start with the introduction. If you all can give us an introduction of who you are and what your product is.
Hello, my name is Waqas and I'm the founder and CEO of Aqarchain. We're tokenizing real estate. We're the first decentralized marketplace for real estate NFTs. We issue NFTs for real estate assets and then fractionalize them, and investors buy into the fraction of NFTs. So we are providing fractional ownership of real estate assets.
Hello, my name is Jamie Thompson and I am the CEO of Vulcan Forged. Vulcanverse, we're a NFT game studio, about 40 employees, 14 of us in-house, based in Athens, Greece. I guess we're sort of pushing the metaverse boundaries and yep, that's us.
Hi, this is Mehmet Ali, coming from Turkey, GM Infomatics joint stock company. We are based in Turkey and as well as in Estonia. We are working in tokenizing business processes rather than the financial and the gaming industry. So it's great to be here.
Hello everyone. I'm Ritam Gupta, CEO and founder of DeFi 11. DeFi 11 basically is fantasy sports over blockchain, and it's one of its own kind. I've been through this journey since the last 1 year now, and have a lot to share with you guys and pretty excited for the same.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Madhur Prabhakar, and I'm the founder of Equate Network. So Equate is a decentralized data marketplace that rewards users for their time, knowledge, and attention. We've also been granted a national patent in India, which restricts any other organization to conduct any form of assessments. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. So my first question is for you, Waqas. You're like 1 day ahead of your launch, like in literally 24 hours you have your launch. So I want to understand, how does it feel, when you're so close to your launch? How do you feel emotionally? What all emotion goes into? And do you really try to achieve that perfection, literally like 24 hours before the launch? So just want to understand, how are you feeling now?
Well, nervous, goosebumps. It's a long effort of almost 2 years now. But it's at the end of the day, it's also very pleasing that we are in safe hands with TDeFi. They've always they've supported us in right from the start, from the inception stage till now. Right now, we are also in their arena, and tomorrow also we'll be presenting here and launching here as well. So it's a big family, and I feel comfortable as of now. But yes, at the same time, we have the anxious moments of how markets turn out or how the people react to the real launch. That's obviously a factor. But yes, we've put in our efforts. We've put in our more than 100% to actually come to this stage and look forward what we can actually really commit to what we were actually looking forward to build.
Thank you and all the best for your launch. My question is for Jamie now. I know about Jamie's stories and are very similar to mine, where Jamie was building the Vulcan Forge for like 2 years. So I want to understand, like, how does it feel to be, in that space where you're building something for a long time? Were there any moments where you felt like maybe this is not the right thing I have to do? But what was that kept you going in that journey of 2 years of yours building Vulcan Force?
What was difficult during the journey? Well, I guess when you kind of do anything new, and I guess blockchain gaming is kind of new, you kind of set out with a presumption that it's going to work out and you're not too sure. Yeah, it has been 2 years building, and I guess, things have only exploded really in the last few months, so it was always a gamble kind of setting it up. But I think the one thing which we were really surprised about, and I think I've said this in a couple of panels, but I'll say it again, was that we moved from gaming into blockchain, and we kind of presumed if we combine the gaming market and the blockchain market, we'd have this enormous sort of synergy between the two. But what we're realizing is that it's not a synergy between the two. It's this completely new vehicle emerging from gaming and blockchain, which is the metaverse, the kind of ownership and economies within virtual worlds. So that's the one thing that sort of surprised us, but also it's been fascinating. It's made it a far more sort of philosophical journey, and more so than just, you know, trying to combine the two markets. But yeah, of course we had doubts. You know, you wake up and wonder if it's going to be worth it, and so far, yeah, it is.
Mehmet, I want to understand from you, like you are recently incubated by TDeFi, is it? Like you're working with the TDeFi family now. How does it feel to be in this ecosystem? And we all see the whole blockchain and crypto ecosystem is very glamorous at time. You see things changing every day. So how do you feel in this ecosystem?
Actually, to be in it, it's great. I've been in IT industry for over 20 years. I've been managing multiple companies. My background is coming from the techie and the cybersecurity. So I am in it for about 5 and 6 years. And I'm sure all we here start with some trading and cryptocurrency thing. But since 3 or 4 years, what we are trying to do is to create a real tokenized company. Rather than my friends over here and in this summit trying to create some push shifts related with gaming industry, NFTs, arts, and real estate, my friend. We are trying to put the tokens or the coins or the assets which are blockchain based and completely decentralized in this manner in the heart of the company processes and the frameworks. This is a new thing that we are trying to do. However, we have already achieved it and successfully doing this within our company. With also, you know, we are using centralized technologies as well. But what the structure and my perspective about the future is everybody will agree upon on this, it is decentralized, but we have to focus on the businesses rather than the projects on each scale, because we do business in everyday life. People do business, it can be peer-to-peer or B2B, B2C, B2 retail, no problem. But we are working on that and we go ahead, really, we are in a really good position. So this is it.
Thank you. My question is for Ritam now. I've seen his journey closely, you know, having an idea to doing a fundraise, and he has done things very quickly. So I want to understand, like, there comes a situation where we feel like things are not going as per you want. So how you as a founder deal with such situations where you feel like, okay, this is not in my control? How do you deal with those situations?
That's a pretty interesting question, I must say. I've been facing these kind of situations almost every day, I would say. But what I firmly believe in is that while you start your journey as an entrepreneur, there are no successes and no failures. There's always learnings. So even if you feel something's not right today, you just need to learn from it and do the same thing again to be just doing that better tomorrow. That's it. No matter how much time you take, no matter you succeed tomorrow or not, but you'll eventually end up learning that. So that's how I've been coping up with it.
That's really nice. And I guess in the entrepreneurial journey, everyone says fear is not an option. And you cannot get scared. You have to always be there, standing out there and, you know, fighting against the odds.
Precisely.
So my question is for Madhur. Madhur has been, has recently joined our TDeFi family, and you met all the founders. So how do you feel about this ecosystem that you're now part of, and how does your journey look like, you know, as a new entrant into it?
So first of all, the kind of ecosystem that I've seen here, I'm honestly amazed because the kind of work every one of us are doing, and we are creating an ecosystem where we are going to help us out each other in a way that we have not imagined right even now. And as far as my journey is concerned, it was really brutal because I'm not from a technical background. I had to quit my government job, and that was the time when people started asking me, are you even sane? You are quitting your government job for something that is not even regulated. You might end up behind bars, and these kind of things I started my journey with. And then the product that we chose to start with, it was the examinations. So there is a lot of manipulation in examination industry in India especially. We wanted to change that, but the product which we created and the takers did not want that because they had their own other intentions of not using it. So for me, it was always no, 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 no. And somehow I just managed to every time just get around it and look for something that made me go forward. That's about it.
I guess I had the similar experience where everybody told me like, I'm very crazy and ambitious to do what I'm doing. But it's just like you have to believe in the fact that what you're trying to achieve is doable and you do it. So my next question is for every one of us. Because we now belong to this, small family of TDeFi, and it literally feels like family. And I remember a lot of time, not only we reach out to the mentors at TDeFi, but we reach out to each other and, ask for help or, clarify doubts we have. So just want to understand, how was your journey in this family? How comfortable you feel when you are in a problem to reach out to not only to the TDeFi team, but to other founders? Because I certainly believe the founder's perspective is always different, and we tend to give each other the real advice, like, okay, this is something that you should not do. Not only we tell each other, like, okay, this is what you should do, but we keep telling each other, okay, don't go ahead and do this. So who are the people you speak with, and specifically, what kind of founder's perspective you guys have seen in your life? I will start with Waqas.
Well, that's interesting because I still go to you for advice, right? So I still go. I've had a lot of conversations with Ritam as well on these things. So yes, at the to start with, uh, um, start a company or starting your entrepreneur journey, it's not a one-man task. You obviously lead from the front, but you need support, you need backing from behind as well. And when you're especially at a stage where you're fundraising, uh, when you complete your fundraising and when you reach the stage, the goal, you have immense pressure from investors, you have immense pressure from the community, and that's where you actually make it or break it. So that's where the support of fellow founders actually helps in from the experience that they have had in similar situations. And yes, for me, it has been not a complete journey. I still have one more day to go. A few more days, long way to go after that as well. So yes, uh, your internal team, your external team, which is your fellow founders, and your accelerator, incubator, TDeFi, the whole family and everyone, they all play an important role in whatever success you get. Minute years of it's everyone's contribution to that success.
Yeah, I guess other than the obvious networking that having a sort of umbrella accelerator or supporter helps, I think the main sort of benefit has been knowing that, you're not alone in all these kind of things. And, it doesn't matter if you're a founder, an entrepreneur, or you're successful, that everyone's kind of, we're all human and we all make mistakes and we're all having trouble. We're all a bit lost, I suppose, just like in real life, everyone's a little bit lost, to be honest. So it was kind of nice, I think last year or 2 years ago, whenever it was, that we sort of, you have someone to share all your concerns with, and sort of grounds you a little bit to realize about now how sort of ambitious another project is, or how successful another CEO is, and you meet all these sort of very lavish people along this journey that, everyone's got some stories to tell of overcoming hurdles. So yeah, for me, I think it's been sharing those kind of dilemmas with people on the same journey of you of entrepreneurship or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that sort of community element I think is important, so reaching out to those people.
I think all we agreed upon that founders have to be visionary. I mean, we see the future, we see the target there, but the case is how we gonna reach there. And the bad side is when we reach there, it never ends up. I mean, we have to work every day. We have to change ourselves to adoptions. We have to change our mindset. The keyword is the mindset here. So you have to think out of the box as a founder or as a CEO or as an entrepreneur, what you name on it. But the founding a business or founding a concept or an idea is the first and the initial part of it. I'm not stating that the founders are the basic skills or the traits here, but this is the first step of the journey. So blockchain is the same, like over 10 years. Satoshi Nakamoto has started on this as a founder, as I see. Even there were previous tasks and drafts on the technology side on this, but we are just continuing it, and you are, and all we are here just continuing this journey. So I am sure every single person, even they are in the management side or on the upper or lower levels, they are the founders. They are the real founders of the blockchain.
What I feel is a founder is not someone who knows everything. A founder is someone who wants to know everything, or at least wants to know. While I started my journey, I didn't know much about things. I have always been a technical guy. I wanted to explore gaming, as I mentioned in my yesterday's panel too, that gaming was never my domain. But when I jumped into DeFi 11, I started developing a bit passion about gaming, wanted to explore more, and I mean, last panel that I was a part of was gaming on blockchain. So that's how you shape your journey. There have been a lot of people that I've been seeking advices from. There will come always a lot of people that will give you advices, whether that hits you or not, whether that clicks you or not. But what I feel is, if someone shares a first-hand experience, that's something that that clicks you the most, and you get to learn a lot from that. I try doing the same thing with almost everyone over here. I've been talking to almost all my fellow founders on things that I experienced throughout the journey, and that I don't know and I want to know that, okay, if you have experienced it or not. There have been and I mean, there have been instances where you don't really realize that you're actually learning something new. For example, I mean, we have discussed ideas. If I just talk about Gaurav, right, standing in front, we have discussed ideas on tea. While we were having tea, we have discussed ideas while we were just randomly chatting, and also there can be a lot of things happening at random times. All you need to do is just learn from everything and be aware of what you are doing. That's it. And just to mention, I mean, I would like to just say Gaurav has been one of the biggest part throughout my journey as an entrepreneur with DeFi 11. And right on left of him, I have my brother standing as well. He has been one inspirational figure for me too. So these are the two guys who have helped me a lot throughout the journey. So I would love to thank them too.
So yeah, Gaurav should get that special mention always. Like for me also, Gaurav was that person when I felt like, nothing is moving. I met Gaurav and we spoke about it, and, we decided, okay, let's do something different. And here I am today.
Yeah, so for me, before joining TDeFi, it was a bit difficult because as founders, you go to seek advice from anybody that you can find, right? So that you know different perspectives. And that is when it gets confusing, because when you hear a lot of advices, then it's difficult to say what you should do and what you should not do. And that is when, after interacting with TDeFi, it was a one-stop shop. And especially for me, it has been Rishabh, because I've interacted with him the most during this thing, and things have become easier. Apart from that, I was fortunate. I got some advices at the initial level from Sandeep Nelwal, founder of Polygon, co-founder, and some of the other people who are not exactly into crypto but are working in a lot of blockchain technologies and all that space. I met Ritam in one of the conferences way back, and where we were just talking about technology, because he's a technical guy and I'm a non-technical guy. So we are a lot. So I mean, these are the things that you get to learn, and that is the best part about being a founder, when you meet like-minded people.
Thank you so much. So to end with, I would like to ask you one last question. So we all hear about success stories, and as Gaurav says, idea lose, people don't. I want to know that one life learning that you guys had that made you the person you are today. That's one life lesson that you have, and you would like to share with everyone here, that what keeps you going.
I'm sure that's not one life lesson anywhere, because the journey itself is very learning in itself, and it's not something that you can describe that that's one thing that you learn, because the whole perspective of you looking at a vision, and the whole perspective of you creating something where you're solving a problem, and you're basically creating an ecosystem all in together, then that's not just one point, but it's a complete life cycle in itself. And well, to me, yes, we've 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 gone through that cycle in multiple times in last 2 years, and now finally reached this stage. So it's been really very descriptive and very learning in a sense, where you've learned not to just grow as an entrepreneur, but also to learn how to fall and then stand and then fall again and then keep standing and then keep running again and again. So yeah, that's the basic point.
I think I'm probably the least qualified to give a life lesson to anyone. I mean, I'm a mere mortal, I couldn't give any life lessons, but I guess business-wise, I guess the reason this business, I suppose, has probably done, well, it has done better than any other business in the past, has been that I finally stopped being such a control freak and sort of realize your own weaknesses, I suppose. I guess if you have like a vision with your company, and it's your baby, and you want to sort of set it up the first few months, fine, keep the reins, keep the harnesses. But I think this was the first time in a business that I just sort of realized that no, you can't do everything, and there are people out there who can translate better, market better, develop better. You can't just be like an octopus on 20 computers, although I'm sure we all want to as CEO. So yeah, know your weaknesses as much as you know your strength, I suppose. But yeah, that's my business lesson, not life lesson, of course. Life lesson is just enjoy it, I guess.
What we have learned, or I learned from this journey, is the ability to adapt to change. Because you wake up each morning and you see everything is changing in the world, and there are hundreds of countries over the world. So even there is no change around you in your city or in your country, there's definitely a change in another country. It may be politics, it may be related with the trades, economics, or business life, or it can be anything. So the most driving thing that struggled me is the adoption to change. So I believe this is also the key figure that the entrepreneurs must find within themselves. So adoption to change is the key figure here, I think so.
Yeah, there are hundreds of lessons, I would say, that I have learned. But what comes to my mind right now is always keep helping others selflessly. You don't really need to think twice to be helping anyone. And it can be anyone literally, your peer, your elder, your younger, whosoever it can be. While one other thing that I still remember, I was chatting to Jamie about something, and I was pretty, I had a low day, I would say, and the text that he sent me over at the night was that keep doing good, only good comes to people who do good, something like that. So I still remember that, and it really helped me out. So that's what I keep on doing. Just do good, and it will come back to you.
Yeah. So for me, it's been just one thing which I've learned from sports. But since I was very, into sports since my childhood, and the only thing is just don't give up, never give up, because there will be things that will not go according to the plan. People will cheat you. People will, they will betray you and all those things because it's all a part of life. But just don't give up on anybody because, you know, this if you give up, then there is no way forward. You're going to be where you are, or maybe just go back. So for me, that is the biggest lesson. Just don't give up.
Thank you. I guess that's a rule in wrestling as well. You know, you don't lose when you fall down. You lose when you don't get back. So I guess that's apply for all of us. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for this panel, and thank you TDeFi for letting me host this panel.
Thank you, everyone. I would like to call Shreya and Mayank to felicitate our esteemed panel. Jimmy, one.